communities brace for a huge influx of migrants, authorities are already cracking down. The changes now taking place ahead of the end of Title 42.
A woman accused of stealing a submachine gun now facing charges. How social media played a role in tracking her down.
Today, we expect to learn more from investigators on why this suspect unleashed violence here in Allen, Texas. I'm Tim Pulliam with the latest.
Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
It is the weather pattern of the week. It is forcing all of us to keep an eye on the skies, and not just meteorologists.
So with scattered rain in and around their area, there is so much to track. Justin Horn, how's it looking out there?
Well, we still got some rain around. You know, we had some heavy rain overnight, some good rainfall totals, which we'll share with you in just a little bit. But still some rain falling right now, and I want to show you what's going on west of San Antonio. Starting to get a band of some heavier rain. It's a thin band, but if you're underneath it, you are getting some good, healthy rain at this hour, and that could cause a little bit of minor flooding in spots. As we look at Uvalde County, just south of Concan, that's where some of the heaviest of the rain is right now. We're detecting some lightning strikes there. And just really light stuff here around San Antonio. Nothing more than maybe a few sprinkles at this hour. But we could see some redevelopment as we head into the afternoon in and around San Antonio. And very quickly, we'll take a little closer look at that activity in Concan. Again, some lightning strikes there. You're going to get some rainfall rates that are going to pick up. There's quite a bit of moisture in the atmosphere, and these are slow movers. And as we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see where some of that heavy rain is there right along Highway 83. And we'll put rain chances or leave rain chances in the forecast throughout the rest of the afternoon. Weather headlines. How much rain did you see? Well, we're going to take a look at the rainfall totals. I just updated those, and we'll share those with you. Plus, more rain this afternoon, as I said, and flooding. That's going to be a concern as we head into the weekend. I know not exactly what you want to hear from Mother's Day weekend, but that's the way it's looking. 70 right now and cloudy here in San Antonio. Dew point is at 64, and that KSAT 12-hour forecast. Look for some scattered storms as we head into the afternoon. Temperatures stay in the 70s today. Cloud cover helps to keep temperatures in check. And we've got good rain chances going into tonight. Much more on all of this, and we'll talk about that flooding threat too, coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Customs and Border Patrol agents so overwhelmed with the expiration of Title 42, they are now changing the point of entry. Tens of thousands of migrants are expected to begin making their way across the border starting on Thursday. Customs now planning to reduce the number of processing lanes as well as screenings for passengers at the Paso del Norte point of entry. Travelers are being urged to find another port of entry between the U.S. and Mexico if you want faster service. This new operation will also focus on sections of El Paso where migrants have been congregating at places like the Sacred Heart Church. Right now, El Paso city leaders estimate that about 1,800 migrants are sitting or standing in the street outside the church. And here in San Antonio, the job of helping migrants who arrive is proving too great for the resources on hand. The Migrant Center is reportedly over capacity already. From March to April, it saw an increase from just over 7,000 a month to now 15,000 last month. City officials estimate the number of migrants have quadrupled in San Antonio in the last week, and that's putting pressure on those trying to help them. Humanitarian Sandra Grace Martinez says that migrants don't have a plan when they get to the U.S., and the funds that are given to them to help them settle have a hard time finding them. And that is causing a bottleneck effect.
That they cannot obtain the money because they have to go to Western Union and they have to show identification, which they don't have. And so there needs to be a third party to be able to make that transfer quick and easy.
And who is that third party? Here in San Antonio, city leaders say the situation is not sustainable, but they also declined to comment on how they plan to handle the end of Title 42.
San Antonio police still trying to find the person who shot and killed a 2-year-old just yesterday, Mackenzie Hernandez Garcia. This noon, investigators one step closer. They released a photo of the vehicle believed to be involved in that drive-by shooting. So take a look. The shooting happened around 2 p.m. yesterday at a home on Future Drive. It's between West Avenue and Vance Jackson on the city's northwest side. Investigators say the suspect's vehicle appears to be a black Chevy pickup truck with a temporary license plate. If you recognize this vehicle or you have any information that can help authorities, you're asked to call SAPD's homicide unit. That number 210-207 7635.
A woman who was allegedly caught on camera stealing a submachine gun from a shooting range has now been captured and is now behind bars. Bexar County Sheriff's investigators arrested her last night. Katrina Weber tells us why detectives credit a tattoo and social media for helping them track her down.
From the start, Bexar County Sheriff's detectives knew her face. Surveillance video from Lone Star Handgun Shooting Range gave them an early look at the suspect, now identified as 25-year-old Amber Herring. The owner of that Converse business released the video to us, hoping to track down the woman who he says took a submachine gun without permission last Friday after pretending to rent it with an ID card that wasn't hers. An arrest affidavit now reveals the card Herring used actually belonged to her sister, who died in a fire last year. Detectives were able to end their search when they arrested Herring last night. Even though this video aired all over TV, it was a different kind of media, social media, that provided detectives with their biggest clues. They say they were able to identify the suspect after doing an internet investigation of their own. The affidavit says through social media accounts, they found a connection between Herring and her sister, whose ID she used. And in photos that were posted, they say there was no mistaking a tattoo on her chest, one that matched the woman in the shooting range surveillance video. Herring was booked into jail on charges related to the theft and possession of the submachine gun. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
This noon, the search continuing for a gunman who shot a man in the chest at a Northside smoke shop last night. San Antonio police say it started just after 8:30 in the 3200 block of West Avenue. Police say someone shot a man 4 times in his chest. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. SAPD says the suspect got away heading south from the scene. There were some other customers, there were other customers at the scene, but luckily no one was hurt.
Folks on the south side waking up to an unwelcome surprise on their doorstep. A vehicle crashed. So police say the driver crashed onto a porch. This all happening in the 300 block of West Theo Avenue. SAPD telling us just after midnight, the driver clipped the edge of the house, and where he hit the house was actually near the child's room. Police say luckily no injuries reported, although the driver was arrested, could be charged for possible DWI.
Today, we're learning more about the shooter who opened fire at a Dallas area mall. Investigators finding out more about that shooter's past.
Details beginning to emerge about the 8 people shot and killed. ABC's Tim Pulliam reports some of those victims included young children.
These are the names of the 8 people gunned down in that deadly outlet mall shooting in Allen, Texas. Among the dead, 3 members of the Cho family, including a 3-year-old, elementary school-age sisters, 4th grader Daniela and 2nd grader Sophia Mendoza, described as rays of sunshine. Their mother, Ilda, in critical condition, among several still hospitalized.
We got shots fired at the young wall.
Investigators are looking closely at social media posts allegedly written by the suspect, Mauricio Garcia. They reveal the shooter, who was seen on video firing at shoppers at Allen Premium Outlet Saturday, may have been scouting the mall for at least a year. Investigators are reviewing this picture of the suspect. A profile appearing to belong to the 33-year-old, showing photos of the mall and entrances dating back to last May. Investigators say his online profile also includes racist, white supremacist posts, hatred towards women, Nazi tattoos on his body, and a fascination with mass shootings.
I see a woman running in the parking lot or trying to get to the parking lot, and she's by our window, and I see her get gunned down.
An unnamed officer on scene confronting the shooter alone and killing him. His attorney saying this: he's a brave servant with a gentle heart and embodies the best the law enforcement profession has to offer. A search warrant obtained by our ABC affiliate WFAA says the gunman's Dodge Charger was loaded with several additional firearms and ammunition, and according to authorities, similar items were at his home. The Army says the suspect, Mauricio Garcia, only served 3 months in the Army in 2008. He was removed over mental health concerns. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Allen, Texas.
And today, Texas's Fort Hood officially has a new name. renamed after the Army's first Hispanic 4-star general. So during the ceremony, the post was redesignated as Fort Cavazos, all in honor of General Richard Edward Cavazos. Now, he was born in Texas to Mexican-American parents. He served in the Korean and Vietnam Wars. He became a 4-star general in 1982, retiring from the Army in 1984 after 33 years of service. He passed away back in 2017. Fort Hood, long plagued by a series of suicides, homicides, and deadly accidents. It is one of 9 military installations being redesignated, removing Confederate names from United States military bases.
Most of us women need to start scheduling our mammograms sooner. A federal health task force now recommending that all women with an average risk of breast cancer start screening at the age of 40. That's younger than previous guidance. In 2016, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force recommended women get mammograms every other year starting at age 50. This latest update is considered a draft recommendation so far. That means it's not final. It'll be available on the task force website for public comment through June 5th. Groups like American Cancer Society have already been recommending that mammograms for women need to be performed when they're in their 40s.
Fun fact, my girlfriend ran into Jeremy Sohan walking around Central Market the other day.
She
was like,
did she get an autograph?
She didn't. We're very low key. But she did say, who is the tall spur with the cool hair? That's him. And he has a new accolade. We're going to dive into the bright future of the silver and black in just a little bit.
She didn't get the autograph and y'all are still together?
It's always one of those weird things where it's like, do you walk up? Do you bother them with their family, you know?
Well, hanging out at the Boys and Girls Teen Center is more fun now thanks to a big donation. The money not only helped the organization get some updates, but some new amenities. We'll show you.
Well, welcome back. Teens who spent time at the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio's East Side branch, well, they're getting a special surprise today.
Tiffany Huertas takes us to a refreshed space that's filled with games, TVs, computers, much more for the teens to enjoy.
This space is very special for our teens because they chose every single aspect of the space.
The Teen Center at the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio's East Side branch was refreshed, providing a safe and fun environment for them.
This is their teen center. This is where they come after school, where they come every summer. They get lots of different programming here. They hang out, they do their homework.
The company Aaron's is behind this $20,000 renovation. There is new furniture, arcade games, TVs, and gaming systems.
They have their own kitchen area where they have their air fryer, their microwaves, their refrigerators.
There's also a new computer room that will be used for educational purposes. Teens can search for scholarship opportunities and do homework. When teens get out of school later today, they will get to enjoy this new space.
They know this is a safe place, this is a bully-free zone, and this is a space of nurturing, and we provide them opportunities and programs to ensure that they have a great future ahead of them.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
All right, so if you do make it outside today, you gotta watch out for those showers. You see any rain this morning?
No, but I'm really appreciating the fact that I did not wash my car over the weekend. I had to really force myself to drive it dirty.
Okay, lots of rain. Justin, a little bit of a light show when I woke up too.
Yeah, it was a really cool sunrise. If you caught it, we had some lightning and then the sunrise in the distance. It was cool this morning with some light rain. Seeing a few showers out there right now. The aquifer surprisingly didn't go up today. It was down 0.3 of a foot to 638.5. And because we've seen rain, molds jumped up 1,520. They're in the high category now. Grass and pigweed are low. We update the radar and the forecast coming up.
All right, 70 degrees out. It feels like it's warmer out there though.
I don't know. Justin and I are of the opinion that the minute you walk into the KSAT building, you will be nice and chilled.
Cold. It's cold.
I gotta get you guys blankets. It is not that bad in here.
He has frostbite.
I feel like I think I have bad flow
circulation.
Or something going on. Yeah.
Okay.
But it is a little chilly in here. We're getting ready for the summer, the hot temperatures, and we have had some hot days, but today's not one of them because we've had clouds and rain and showers around. So let me first start with the radar because we still do have quite a bit of activity out there. Especially as you get out west of San Antonio. That's where we're seeing some thunderstorms right now. And what's interesting, I'll point out here at the big picture, we've got a low spinning almost right over top of us. It's kind of getting stretched out, but there is a low there, and that's why we're getting lift and getting showers and storms. So let's take a look at what's going on here around the Concan area. That's where we've seen the heaviest of rain. Still seeing some lightning strikes, so we know it's good heavy rain, but kind of over rural areas right now, north of Uvalde and then snaking back down towards Sabinal and Hondo, areas that have picked up some good rain. What we can do is look at the 12-hour rainfall and see where we stand right now, rainfall-wise. I'll pause it, and we'll get the latest frame here. So right there around Concan, which didn't see a ton of rain last night, now we're up to about 2.1 estimated by the radar, and then around Sabinal, perhaps close to 4 inches there north of Highway 90. So this is good heavy rain in many cases. And so far we haven't had a lot of flooding issues. We'll certainly keep a close eye on that. But right now it's just thunderstorm activity and just a narrow strip there of some heavy rain stretching back down back towards the Brackettville area. Meantime, here in San Antonio, we've got some showers working through. Again, that low's kind of over top of us, but most everything we're seeing here is very, very light. Nothing more than really a few sprinkles, and it's kind of let up here in the last hour. But I think as we get into the afternoon, with this disturbance still overhead, we still could see some more showers and storms developing. And that goes for really anywhere here in the viewing area. And the steering winds are so light that these things kind of drift, so they can put down some good rainfall totals, and we saw that overnight. I want to show you the satellite radar over the last 12 hours. You can kind of see how things evolved here. We had some storms in the hill country. They pushed southeast with some outflow boundaries. We had some storms coming in from the west, and they all kind of came together and put down some good rain west side of San Antonio and points south. And now there's really heavy rain around the Houston area as this low just kind of spins and meanders here across South Texas. Here's a look at some of the rainfall totals. We just updated these. The airport, only about 1/10 of an inch, so not a huge number there. But Dilley, that was the big winner. 5.65, 1.71 in Hondo, 1.87 in Bandera, and locally here around San Antonio. Just a trace in New Braunfels, and I know that's not what you want to see, but I think we'll get some more rain here in the coming days, so don't lose hope yet. Seguin nearly 1/4 of an inch, Stinson about 1.15, Castroville over an inch there. So western parts of Bexar County and Medina County did pretty well. I want to show you a picture coming in on our KSAT Connect from Dilley last night, and you can see how that 5 to 6 inches of rain, how it looked. It filled up a lot of the streets there, and there was some street flooding. Flood warnings were posted there earlier. Right now, we're looking at 70 here around San Antonio. It's not going to warm up a whole lot today, again, because of the cloud cover, and we keep some pretty decent rain chances in there, 60% to be exact, through the late afternoon and evening hours. So keep the umbrella with you. And as we look at the forecast here, it does show some activity redeveloping here around dinner time and then pushing east tonight. We'll start to taper off rain chances as we get into tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday should be quieter days before we get into some better rain chances down the line. And that comes into play Friday into Saturday as another area of low pressure comes in from the west. And then I think by Saturday, this is Saturday morning, we're going to see some good heavy rain here. And there is a flash flooding risk on Saturday. Weather Prediction Center has already kind of flagged our area for the risk, a higher risk of flooding. So this is a day we need to keep a close eye on. 83 Wednesday, 86 Thursday, 85 Friday. We start to bring rain chances back up late Friday. Saturday, 70% chance of rain, widespread rain. Mother's Day, maybe some rain early, a little bit of clearing late, but still some decent chances. 78 degrees, guys.
You could always give Mom an umbrella.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She wouldn't like that.
No.
Thank you, Justin. All right, so yesterday we told you about that scuffle between an NBA MVP and a new NBA owner. Well, today we have a resolution. All right, UTSA golfer Cameron Carrion representing the Roadrunners and the big 2-1-0 this week in a big spotlight. We're going to hear from her next. Welcome back. So you may know him as the Spurs player with the colorful hair, but we know him as, well, a new 2022-23 all-rookie second-teamer. He got 66 points total, not during the season, but in terms of votes. So Jeremy Sohan, the 11th player in the Spurs franchise to receive all-rookie honors and first Spur since Kawhi Leonard back in 2011. So Sohan joins Detroit center Jalen Duren, Houston Rockets forward Tari Eason, Pistons guard Jaden Ivey, and Rockets forward Jabari Smith on the Kia NBA All-Rookie Second Team. Remember, we've highlighted Jeremy throughout the season. He's been phenomenal, great defensive player. He also, at one point, does the one-handed free throws, but that's neither here nor there. 11 points, more than 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 26 minutes played in 56 games. All right, speaking of the NBA, here we go. Back to this, a player and an owner. Denver Nuggets center and MVP Nikola Jokic fined $25,000 for this inappropriate contact with the Suns owner Matt Ishbia in Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. Jokic went to grab the ball from Matt Ishbia. He shoved him with his forearm, knocked the owner to his seat. Jokic asked if he's worried about punishment, and he fired back. What about his safety?
So, but his hands on me, so they're not going to protect me. They're going to protect the fan. I mean, not me as a person. I'm talking about as a player. Yeah. I mean, they can do whatever, of course. They don't care, but I think they're supposed to protect players.
I love that he only referred to the current owner of the Suns as a fan. Regardless, not suspended. He's going to play in Game 5. Nuggets host the Suns. That series, like this very competitive NBA postseason, tied at 2-2. Speaking of the postseason, Eastern Conference semifinals, Heat defeat the Knicks 109-101 yesterday. Now they lead that series 3-1. Miami can close out the series tomorrow night in the Big Apple. All right, so from the court to the course. Local college golfers Cameron Carrion and Alex Giles, they are representing the Big 210 in the NCAA San Antonio Regional, hosted by UTSA and San Antonio Sports. So after 18 holes yesterday, Cam tied for third place at 1 under par, 71. Started on the back nine, got into some trouble on the par 4, 10th hole. Her first, but she had a great up and down from the green side bunker, saving par. And we asked the Roadrunner how she did that.
Oh, that felt good. I think that really helped momentum. Off the first tee, I was excited, so I did overturn one a little bit, but I knew that I wasn't going to be in trouble, so that was good. And then the second shot, I hit a good shot. It just didn't, the wind held it up, and then that out of the bunker, I just knew that if I put it like inside 10 feet, I felt confident that I was going to make it. At least I gave myself a chance, and then when I rolled that in, it was icing on the cake, and I was like, all right, let's go. After I got off that green, I actually told my coach, I was like, all right, first hole's over. I don't even care what happens now. Let's just go. Like, we're just having fun. So that was good, and that felt good to get rolling, get it going on the first hole.
All right, let's go. Cam closing with 12 pars in a row, leading the field with 15 through the first 18 holes. All right, and UIW senior Alex Giles paired with Cam and a golfer from Long Beach State. Alex needed 2 shots to find the green on the par 4, 10th hole measuring 395 yards. She would putt it in from here. Look at that. Beautiful. She carded 7 over 79. Great score in the TPC. San Antonio Oaks course. Remember, that is home of the VTO, the Valero Texas Open. So we asked her what she needed to do better in the next round.
Yeah, definitely around the greens. I struggled with my chipping and pitching and putting, especially on the back nine. My pace putting was not good, but now there's a lot of room for improvement, so I'm excited for tomorrow.
All right, so second round tee times are set. Cam and Alex teed off at 8:55 a.m. Now Cam from the first hole, Alex on number 10, each paired with 2 more golfers. This is the 54-hole regional. I got to say, everything they're doing is so impressive. I wish I played golf earlier on in life. Do you play?
Badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
When people ask me, I'm always like, define play. I go out there from time to time.
I embarrass myself. My husband used to teach golf.
Oh. So I'm sure he's a scratch golfer himself.
He is. All right, a woman finds herself lost on foot in the Australian wilderness. The 2 things she survived on for days.
And hey, you teased it earlier. Mother's Day just around the corner. Get ready. We're checking in with SA Live. What you can do to make the moms in your life pleasant Mother's Day. Do you have plans already?
Not yet.
Okay.
New today at 5, free money. I'd take that for Mother's Day. If you had an unlimited data plan with an AT&T plan, you could soon be due some cash. It's all part of a big class action lawsuit settlement. Same goes if you had a Facebook account in the last 16 years, which is like all of us. The companies are paying customers who qualify. Coming up at 5, 12 on your size Marilyn Morris is going to tell you how to claim your cash.
Well, welcome back. A U.S. Army sergeant convicted of killing and shooting an armed protester during a Black Lives Matter march in Austin could now face up to life in prison, but that's going to be up for the court to decide today. Daniel Perry convicted back in April. Now, this stems from an incident back in 2020. Now, 28-year-old Garrett Foster legally carrying a rifle in downtown Austin during a march. Perry was working as a rideshare driver the night of the shooting. He said he had acted in self-defense. Witnesses testified they didn't see Foster raise his weapon. Governor Greg Abbott has already pushed the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles to recommend that they pardon Perry. The Louisiana man now facing charges after deputies say he shot a 14-year-old girl in the back of the head while she was playing hide and seek. Sheriff's office says a group of children were playing in the area, some hiding on David Doyle's property. Doyle telling deputies that he saw shadows outside. He shot at people running away. One of those bullets hitting a 14-year-old girl. She is at a local hospital right now. They say she should recover. Doyle now being charged with aggravated assault and battery.
The parents of the young woman who was killed in Wyoming back in 2021 fighting to get a letter written to the man who allegedly killed her. Gabby Petito was found 1 month after her boyfriend's body was located in Florida. He had committed suicide. But Petito's family thinks his run from the law was aided by his parents, and evidence of that may be in a letter that his mom wrote to him. They're asking a Florida judge to order the mother of Brian Laundrie to turn over that letter, which was found with his body. Her parents claiming references in the letter, quote, baking a cake with a shiv in it, should her son go to prison. They also say it references bringing a shovel to help bury a body. Laundrie's parents want to stop that letter from being turned over. A woman's claim that former President Donald Trump attacked her and defamed her now in the hands of a jury. That panel considering E. Jean Carroll's allegations that Trump raped her in a New York City department store dressing room back in 1996. She says he then defamed her when he denied the allegations. Trump does not face the possibility of prison time in this case. Instead, if a jury believes Carroll's account, they would award her monetary damages only.
Well, today, President Joe Biden and congressional leaders set to meet to discuss the nation's debt ceiling. Republicans pushing spending cuts before agreeing to even the idea of raising the debt limit. Meanwhile, the White House, they don't want to negotiate cuts as a condition for lifting the limit. As ABC's Justin Finch explains, today's meeting comes amid growing concerns that the country, America, could default on the debts as soon as June 1st.
All eyes on the White House, where President Biden is hosting an Oval Office conference with the top 4 Senate and House leaders focused on raising the debt ceiling.
That shows that the president wants to bring them together to have this conversation. The president has been very clear. This is Congress' constitutional duty to take action, to not default.
The White House refusing to call today's meeting a negotiation and still insisting Congress raise the debt ceiling without any preconditions. But House Republicans are insisting there will be no deal without spending cuts, already passing a bill calling for nearly $5 trillion in cuts. And yesterday, 43 Republican senators signed a letter saying they would block any bill allowing a clean debt hike.
Republicans are very united at this point to say we should look at debt and deficit and to say, what are we going to do to slow down our spending?
Raising the debt limit covers spending the U.S. has already racked up, not future spending. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen cautioning Congress that the country could enter default in just a few weeks.
All I want to say is that it's Congress's job to do this. If they fail to do it, we will have an economic and financial catastrophe that will be of our own making.
A U.S. default could have wide-reaching impact, from collapsing the stock market to the loss of 8 million jobs, no Social Security checks for nearly 50 million seniors, and unpaid troops. Today's meeting is a step forward, but no major breakthroughs are expected, adding more pressure on the White House and Congress to strike a deal before that June 1st deadline. Justin Finch, ABC News at the White House.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Keep your eyes on your weather app over the next couple of days because we are going to get, let's say, repeated opportunities for rain.
I'd say this is some of the best chances we've had in a long time, especially when it comes to some heavy rain by the time we get into the weekend. If you're up this morning, the lightning was pretty incredible. If you had an early morning commute, I want to show you a picture. This was out of Converse. And lightning like this is always hard to catch, but this is well done. You can see it all kind of meets at the point there. Cloud to ground lightning meets at that 1 point, but pretty incredible to catch that in a very beautiful scene with the lightning this morning. And we had a beautiful sunrise to top it all off. So pretty cool stuff. We appreciate the pictures always. And I want to take you to the live radar and show you we still have our low spinning here. Really right over San Antonio, although it's getting stretched out some. But we have light showers here around town. We still have that area of thunderstorms, albeit it's a little weaker now, moving towards Uvalde. It's kind of sinking south. And then we have some new development trying to take shape there across parts of Blanco County. The heaviest of the rain out towards Houston at this hour. Right now, cloudy here in San Antonio, 70 degrees, a few very light showers around. South-southwesterly winds at about 5. And the forecast calls for temperatures to stay in the 70s today. A lot of cloud cover in with the rain. We're just not going to warm up a whole lot. 75 at 6 o'clock, 74, 7 p.m. We leave in a 60% chance of rain. Radar can get a little more active by the late afternoon and evening hours. And we'll keep some decent rain chances through about midnight. It gets a little quieter tomorrow. And certainly as we get into Thursday, some quieter conditions before things pick back up in a big way over the weekend. We'll look at that forecast for you here in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Justin. All right, a woman lost for 5 days in the remote Australian wild, finding a very unique way to survive. The two unlikely items she had in her car that kept her alive.
Quirky baseball memorabilia now on sale, but the hot dog costumes do come with a beefy price tag.
Well done.